July 5th, 2014. These are Earth-facing SDO images. Started these yesterday at about midday. But what you got is across the top third of the sun, there's 4 filament releases. They're hard to see because they're Earth-facing, and there weren't large areas of dark lines like we see some of the filaments. But check it out. You can see the magnetic lines of force build and then launch off the top of the sun. Watch this. Let it play, and I'll show you these images from a couple of different cameras. But what is amazing me, guys, is that we've had no solar flares yet. This is a large group of sunspots, and I'll show you the charts on that also. But it's been very quiet. We've had those releases at the top, but these sunspots, it's like sitting here watching a big battleship turn full broadside and nothing happening. Now, let's just quickly look at the quake situation. 6.0 there in Indonesia, 5.2 New Zealand, the 5.2 in the Azores, 5.7 Japan. But we got 3 unusual quakes in the U.S. I'll pull that up and we'll take a look at it. I've been in this area. I worked building some communication equipment in Desert Hot Springs, just southeast of there. And this is Big Bear. There's 3 quakes there, a 4.6, a 4.4, and a 2.7 aftershock. The 4.6, the strongest, was the first one. Notice they're just west of Big Bear City. There's Desert Hot Springs, Indio, as you come down the main interstate there, coming into Southern California. Right there between Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear Lake. They're unusual. They even had a small 2.5 up in New York, so it's just one of those days. But these sunspots are really quiet. It seems to be nothing activating them. That could change at any moment because the flare chance has gone up. It's doubled since yesterday. We'll take a look at that. Right in that top left corner, you can see a small coronal mass ejection of when that filament released. There, it activated. But let's take a look at this. That's what I'm saying. It's like a battleship turning broadside and nothing happening. All 5 that are beta gamma are Earth facing. You can see them here. 2104, 06, 08, 07, and 2109 are beta gamma. And like I said, the chance is going up. The flares are 60% on the M's, 10% on the X. And you can see that the way they've added this up on the X flare side, 5 of those individually have a 5% chance of an X flare. We'll have to watch that. Also, we're watching Comet Jacques as it's getting closer to Venus there. Now, what this is if you go to the stereo website, you can see 3 images. They've got them it's basically stacked. But they are the latest one. This gives you the closest information as far as current right here. I'm going to show you some of the images, though. Now it's coming in on the SETI site. Now, these only go up to the second, guys. So that's why I was showing you how far advanced they are from this. But check this out. And it's going to pass in front of and just to the right of Venus. Now, on the 2nd of July, the last date you're seeing here, was its close approach to the sun. Today it's 0.666 AU. It got the close approach was 0.664 then, but it's still 4 days away from coming up through the ecliptic of the inner solar system. In the northern hemisphere, you'll start seeing probably a lot of ground-based images coming in, but that's what we're looking at now. Check this out on the HI2 camera. Very impressive. It's clear. You can get a better idea of how far this thing stretches back. Again, this is on the 2nd. That's when it was reaching the close approach to the sun. Now, it's going to be under the stress of the sun, and you can see it because of the flaring out motion for the next couple of weeks. So we have seen these get, as the stress builds on them, seen them disintegrate. We'll watch it. But again, it's going to pass just to the right of Venus and over it. But here's the red square is where A is, and you can see where that view that we're looking at, that's why it appears so large. It's close to the camera. Venus is a little further away. Now, so what we should be seeing over the next few days is the comet seem to get somewhat smaller because it's going to be moving further away from stereo A. But it's going to be impressive to watch it pass right in front of Venus on these cameras, and then we should be able to see it for the next week or so. Keep an eye on it. Also, again, there on the 2nd, it was at 664 AU. That was the close approach. Now, coming up to on the 9th, it's going to come through, again, the ecliptic. And maybe we will start getting some good ground-based images. And if you're looking at this at sunset, this will be to the north. If you turn the JPL around, where Earth is on this side, and right there, you can see if the sun's going down, it's going to be to your north in the sky, approaching Venus. If you guys want to try to watch it. Remember, today, in about an hour and a half from the time this video loads, the Virtual Telescope Project 2.0 is going to be watching the Ceres Vesta get as close as they've ever been before. They're two of the largest asteroids that we know about. Some call them minor planets. Just want to remind you of that, but that's www.virtualtelescope.eu/web-TV. Now, the reason it'd be good to watch it here is because here in the U.S. at this closest approach, it's going to be daytime. But this is going to go on for several weeks, guys, the way they've looped around in their orbit. So they're going to be close to that area. Also on this site, it will give you where to look for this at night in your telescopes and binoculars. They're saying they're that large where you can see them with even the smaller optics. It's a heads up. Be safe.